Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasya Chakshurvardhanena Tasmai Shri Chaitanya Manobhista Ardhaveda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave very detailed instructions to Rupa and Sanatana. Rupa and Sanatana, as you probably know, were very important ministers in the government of Nawab Hussain Shah 500 years ago. By some manipulation, the Mahamad Nawab Hussain Shah became the ruler of Bengal. And the population at that time was primarily 99% Hindus and 1%, not even 1%. The king, he was smart. He did a survey. Who would be the most likable person that he could do service these days? And he concluded that these two brothers, who were very expert, scholarly, and well-versed in the scriptures, they were appreciated by the whole population. They would be ideal. So they were more or less forced to take to government duties. Their heart was not into it. But out of compulsion, they agreed to serve as important ministers in the administration of the Nawab. But they didn't last very long. First, Gopal Krishna resigned, and then his brother resigned. And then they met the Lord in Prayag, where he gave them valuable instructions on devotional service. Lord Chaitanya instructed these two brothers to go to Vrindavan and perform 3 essential duties. One was to write books on devotional service. This Krishna conscious movement has a philosophy which is backed up by vast literature. The Vedic literature is so vast that even if you go to read every day of your life, at the end of your life, you will end up reading a small portion. And then there's literature like Ajay Goswami. Then to build temples to glorify the Lord and to identify places where the Lord had his pastime. So he gave very detailed instructions. And someone control the kids? He gave them very detailed instructions and summarized them into 5 main points. And he said, these 5 points are very important. What are the 5 points? Who knows? One was sadhasanga, nama kirtan, studying the Bhagavatam, which would lead you with faith and reverence, and living in the Dham. So these 5 are described as the essential limbs of devotional service. The first one is what? We all know the value of spiritual association. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a very famous verse which is the verse? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarvasangha, Navamata Sadhu Sangha, Navasuri. All the scriptures point out the importance of spiritual association. In the third canto, you read about the dialogue that took place between Lord Kapila and his mother Devahuti. Devahuti knew that her son was the incarnation of Godhead, because when he was in the womb, her Brahma had told her that. So she asked a series of questions. She said, I'm troubled by the miseries of life. Tell me, how can I become free from the miseries of life? You are my transcendental I. In other words, through the assistance of the spiritual teacher, you can understand the philosophy. So Lord Kapila said, my dear mother, attachment to a saintly person opens the door to liberation. And attachment to the materialist leads to, what does it lead to? Bondage. Attachment to the liberated person opens the door for liberation, and attachment to the materialist leads to bondage. And he described Bhakti Yoga as a medium. And then the mother wanted to know, how can I obtain Bhakti Yoga? And he said, by associating with saintly people. So spiritual association is very important if you want to pursue spiritual life. In the fourth canto of the Bhagavatam, you read the story of Dhruva Maharaj. And Narada Muni, while explaining the story, states that a human being can possibly have 3 levels of association. One is association with those who are more advanced. The other is association with those who are equally advanced. And the third is association with those who are what? Fill in the blanks. Less advanced. How do we behave in these 3 circumstances? When you have the opportunity to associate with those who are more advanced, now the Muni says, the devotee becomes joyful. Why? Because by this association, you're going to get some spiritual benefit which can help you pursue spiritual life. In the verse that we just cited from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says Lama Mata. Does anyone know what Lama Mata means? Who knows? 1/14 or 1 second. 1/14 or 1 second. Even if we associate with a saintly person for a fraction of a second, I don't think there's any wristwatch that times 1/14 of a second. A fraction of a second, the spiritual life can start. Prabhupada was in Australia once, and he had to take a flight to some other part of the world. His flight got delayed, and he met over there a very big businessman from a neighboring country. He planted in him the seed of devotional service. And this person went back to his country and opened so many temples. And it just went for maybe a few minutes. Prabhupada came to Russia, which at that time was Soviet Union. Prabhupada had established Krishna consciousness in America, Canada, Europe, India. But then he was thinking about the communist bloc. As some of you may know, at that time, the world was divided into East and West. You know that? No, Western powers were the capitalist countries, and the Eastern powers were the communist countries under Russia. And that was a whole block of Eastern Europe and Soviet Union. So, Prabhupada was saying, how can I save these people also. They didn't believe in religion. The churches had been turned into factories, and religion was taboo. But he still took the risk. He engaged some of his disciples in arranging an invitation, and he went to the former Soviet Union on a 5-day visa. During the 5 days, he converted a prominent Russian to the path of Krishna consciousness. Then Russian started preaching, and slowly it spread to every corner of the country. Prabhupada was traveling over there with his 2 American secretaries. Those days especially, to get something vegetarian in Soviet Union was very difficult. So and very few people spoke English. So his secretary, Shyam Sundar, was on the road looking for a shop from where he could find some fruits and vegetables. But in the hotel, all they sold was meat. So Shyam Sundar was asking, where is there a shop where you can buy fruits? And most of them didn't understand English. They didn't. But luckily, he met one person who understood English. And as he said, I'll take you to a store. And as they were taking to the store, he realized that this boy was interested in yoga. So his Prabhupada's secretary said, oh my God, I'm here with my teacher, he's a yoga teacher. So he said, can I meet him? And he met Prabhupada for 3 days. And in the 3 days, Prabhupada initiated him, trained him up and everything, told him how to cook, how to wear dhoti kurta. And he left, and Prabhupada told him how to preach. And then he started preaching, and gradually it spread to thousands of people. So, a saintly person, if you have the opportunity to associate with those who are more advanced, why don't you take full advantage of it? We hear, you read Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, who traveled from house to house, stay in a house only as long as it took time to milk the cow, and he would be off to the next house. So now what he says, when you have the opportunity to associate with somebody who is equally or more advanced, we should become what? Joyful. And there's an example in the Bhagavatam. When peacocks see the clouds for the first time in the rainy season, they dance in ecstasy. So that is the value of spiritual association with those who are more advanced. Then the other is associating with those who are equally advanced. What should our relationship be with them? We should make friendship. Friendship and spiritual life means we work together to push on the movement of the Lord. We work together to please the Supreme Lord. And when you meet somebody less advanced, what do you do? What do you do when you meet somebody less advanced? Display compassion. There are 2 types of compassion. One is material compassion, the other is spiritual compassion. Many times people say, why are you building all these temples? What's the value of book distribution? Go and feed the hungry. Isn't it? So it's not that we are against feeding the hungry. Prabhupada says, no one should go hungry within 8 miles of an ISKCON temple. So that's material compassion, giving them open. So they open with all respect. They open We'll take a 1-minute break. So we continue?
Yes.
So that's material compassion. But spiritual compassion is give them knowledge by which they can become free from the cycle of birth and death. That's why devotees preach. That's why they go on Harinam. That's why they distribute books. Why? Because by reading these books, thousands have changed their lives. So this is association. Prabhupada opened the first ISKCON temple in New York, and he started these Sunday programs so that people could associate. So we should look forward to spiritual association. Spiritual association helps us to advance easier. That's like if you were in a place where there was no devotee, no temple, how do you feel? You feel you find it a little tough. I've had the opportunity where people come to me and say, Maharaj, in our village, in our city, there's no devotee. So it's tough. But take advantage of spiritual association. Now when you are in spiritual association, you also get the right message. What is the right message? Then what is there in the scripture? In the scripture it is clearly stated. In this Kali Yuga, what is the remedy? Chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam. Kalona Sevana Sevana Sevana. Eva Gati. There are many mantras. Mantra essentially means is there any benefit in chanting? What is the benefit? What are some of the benefits of chanting the holy name? What did someone say? Cleanses the heart, which is very contaminated. And in addition, it gives you unlimited spiritual happiness. Or material activities. The third is happiness derived through, who knows, impersonal liberation. So that's it. First is happiness derived through spiritual activity. It's not that spiritual activity doesn't give you happiness. Sometimes when we preach the philosophy, sometimes people say, oh, what's the value of living? I don't like. So spiritual activity do give one real genuine happiness. And this chanting of the holy name and executing devotional service does give happiness, otherwise why would people take to it? Prabhupada was once giving a lecture in Dallas, and he said, when the Mahatmas came to India, that we one of the great acharyas who re-established the pure teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, the holy name is coming from the spiritual world. Doesn't matter what ashram you are in, Griha Thakur, Vani Thakur, Sada Hari Bole Thakur. You may be a householder or brahmachari or sannyasi. Please chant the holy name. Then, he says, Sukhe Dukhe. In happiness or distress, just chant the holy name. The holy name is our best friend. And Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, we should fall at the feet of the Lord and beg for what? What should we beg for? The holy name. So the scriptures conclude that the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is the principal medium through which we can develop love of God. And that is the conclusion of the scriptures. Prabhupada's, amongst various credits that could go to Prabhupada, one of the credits was he does not dilute, he did not manipulate, he did not compromise. When he came to New York, he wanted to get the Bhagavad Gita printed. Prabhupada had once before in India translated the Bhagavad Gita, and at that time he didn't have the means to publish it. But when he saw some hope, somebody was willing to finance it, he discovered that someone had sold off the manuscript as old paper. Again, in India, it's old paper. So then Prabhupada translated Gita again. And when he came to the West in 1965, he had with him the manuscript of the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada told two of his disciples in New York, approach different publishers and see if they are interested in publishing the Gita. So these two disciples, Brahmananda, he passed away, and one other disciple, they went to different printers. We would like you to print this Bhagavad Gita. So the publishers read the manuscript and they said, this Gita has too much focus on Bhakti, Krishna, Krishna. Nobody will buy this book. You should reduce the mention of Bhakti and Krishna. So they came back to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, all the publishers are saying we should reduce the emphasis on Bhakti and Krishna. Then they'll publish the book. Prabhupada said, They're not going to compromise. So, does anyone know who the first edition of the Gita was printed by? Macmillan. How did that happen? So Prabhupada refused to compromise. Later on, Prabhupada had produced a happening record. It was for the days when he had these big records, 30, what were they, 33 RPM? Anyway, there was a big record. And that record was recorded by Prabhupada, in which he chants the Hare Krishna mantra, and he gives an explanation of the Hare Krishna mantra as the peace formula. So that record was advertised in a local New York newspaper called the Village Voice. And anybody who wanted that record could write in, VPP at that time. That was a process where you order, and along with the order, you have to send the money. So this advertisement was read by an accountant of the Macmillan Company. So he ordered a record using a Macmillan envelope with a name written and his name. So when the late Brahmananda Prabhu saw somebody ordering a record from Macmillan Company, his eyes opened up. So he went to Prabhupada and said, somebody from Macmillan Company has ordered your record. And Macmillan at that time was one of the biggest publishing houses in America. Prabhupada said, Brahmananda, you go to and take this record yourself, don't send it by VPP, by post. So Brahmananda Prabhu dressed up in suits and went to the Macmillan, to the person who ordered the record. So when you reach that accountant's office, over there was sitting one religious editor of the Macmillan Company. Like, I don't know how much you know about publishing, but most of these publishers, big ones, have sports editor, political editors, religious editor. So the accountant was very happy when he got the record. And he introduced Brahmananda to an American who was there, saying, he's a religious editor. Brahmananda said, my spiritual master has translated the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient book of knowledge, and we would like you to publish it. And the editor said, we've just published a Bible, just published a Quran, just published a Jewish literature. I'm looking desperately for someone with the Bhagavad Gita. So he went back to Prabhupada, and the next day came with a manuscript, and the editor took it as it is, and they published it. With Bhakti, with Krishna, with Krishna and Bhakti exactly the way it was before. So, Prabhupada gave us a pure message without adulteration. Once he had a meeting with the Swamis at that time. There was a Swami boom in America. Many Swamis were coming from India to preach their concocted ideologies. So they had a meeting with Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, you are new to America, we are veterans. You should stop wearing dhoti kurta, wear suits, eat with fork and knife, and become westernized. And don't tell people to chant and follow 4 rules. Prabhupada refused to compromise. So, the point we're trying to make is, a genuine sadhu preaches a clear message. And the clear message is, in this age of Kali, what are the characteristics of Kali Yuga? Who wants to venture a reply? Anyone know what are the characteristics? Spiritually lazy, not materially. Materially they are very active. To make money, they reach every corner of the globe. You find Indian businessmen in every corner of the globe. Yes. Especially lazy. What else? What are some of the other characteristics? We are misguided, lazy. We are quarrelsome. These are just brief. In this environment, what is recommended? Chanting the holy name. And then Lord Chaitanya said, what is the third? Read the Bhagavatam and the Gita. Prabhupada gave us these books. Why? Because these books contain spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada emphasized book distribution a lot. He said, you can know me through my books. And what did he present in the books? A pure philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is a book of knowledge. In the 9th chapter, Krishna says, Raja Vidya. So, everyone is trying to cultivate knowledge. But there are two types of knowledge. What are they? Material and spiritual. So this spiritual knowledge is required, and that is there in the scriptures. Then what did it say? Worship the deity with faith and reverence. The Lord incarnates in the Acharya form. And this Acharya form is different from the Lord. Unfortunately, even in our country, there is a sizable population that believes God is no form. Why not? Man is form. Man is made in God's image, as it is said in the Bible. So God's form is transcendental. What does Krishna say? Dhanma karma chame devya. The Lord is inconceivable. In the Brahma Samhita, we get information on the different characteristics. For example, Advaita Vachuta Manadi Anantarupa. The Lord is infallible. He manifests himself in a variety of forms. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma chame, by appearing and disappearing, about transcendental. Who can imagine that can somebody appear, normal person appear, with 4 hands, body decorated, ornamented? Is that possible? No. But when the Lord appeared, he appeared with 4-handed form. And his whole body was ornamented. And then his parents said, please transform yourself to an ordinary child. Yes. Krishna says in the Gita, as we just said, Anma karma chame devya. So Lord is transcendental devyam. His appearance, disappearance, both transcendental. If you look at the pastimes of the Lord, from a material angle, they look inconceivable, isn't it? Who can imagine that God can appear in a half man, half lion form? Can anyone imagine that? Hiranyakashipu performed severe austerities, and as a result, he got from Brahma various benedictions. What were some of the benedictions? I will not be killed in the sky, or water, or land, neither in the morning or evening, neither by any disease or any weapon. So he obtained various assurances, and then he was confident he won't have to die. Finally the Lord killed him. The Lord is inconceivable. And Prabhupada said in one of his lectures, after killing Hiranyakashipu, the Lord told Brahma, don't give such benedictions in future. You made my job very difficult. The Lord is inconceivable. He kept all of Brahma's promises intact. He still killed him. The Lord is completely transcendental. Adyam Purana Purusham Navyonam Shah. He is the oldest, but he appears ever youthful. So we should understand the Lord is completely transcendental. To a mundane person, if you say, the Lord has opened his mouth, and Mother Ishvara saw in the mouth the whole universe, planet, someone may say, this is mythology, this is just imagination. What is possible? We should recognize the Lord is inconceivable. And the Lord also appears in his Ajay Gauranga form. This form of the Lord will also talk to you if needed. So we should study the books, worship the deity with faith and reverence. Sometimes impostors think these deities are just statues. They are not statues. In the story of Sakshi Gopal, what do you see? You see that when the poor Brahman's reputation was at stake, he was being accused of drugging up a rich man to get his daughter in marriage. The poor man said, I have proof. And the rich man's son said, what's your proof? He said, the deity of Gopal. So the man concluded, how can a deity ever come and testify? Okay, bring your deity. The poor Brahmin went running and begged the Lord, my reputation is at stake. Please testify. The Lord was in Vrindavan and the testimony had to be given in Orissa. So the Lord said, but I can't walk. How can I walk such a great distance? And what did the devotees say? My Lord, you can talk, you can also walk. And the Lord was defeated and he surrendered. Maharaj Puri was a great sage. He would all day be engaged in serving the Lord. And one day he had a dream in which the Lord said, I am buried deep below. Please excavate, bring me and install me. This was the deity of Gopal, which was installed by the great grandson of the Lord. So it's a long story, I'll just summarize it. So Maharaj Puri, with the help of the local villagers, installed the deity. But then he had a dream in which the Lord said, I'm grateful that you've installed me, but I'm feeling great heat even now. Please go and bring sandalwood for me, chandan. So Maharaj Puri proceeded from Vrindavan Govardhan, walking all the way till Ramana. Have you ever been to the temple in Ramana? How many people have been? Not many. You haven't been to the Ramana temple? Okay. So Maharaj Puri proceeded to Jagannath Puri to bring sandalwood. On the way, there was an ancient temple in Ramana. This was the temple of Radha Gopinath. The deity became very famous, and we'll tell you how. But that deity, in that temple, they used to offer sweet rice to the deity. And the sweet rice was so tasty that it appeared as if the sweet rice was made in heaven. It was called Amrita Keli. So Maharaj Puri was thinking, if only I can have the opportunity to taste this sweet rice, then I'll go and make for my own deity similar sweet rice. But he manifested this desire while the offering was going on. So he felt very embarrassed and went to the market. The Lord knew what his pure devotee wanted. And the Lord in a dream told the pujari, I have hidden a cup of sweet rice behind the curtain. Take the sweet rice and give it to the sage. The pujari was surprised. The Lord stole a cup of sweet rice? How is that possible? So, anyway, the Brahmin woke up, Lord, and there he saw a cup of sweet rice. The Lord stole a cup of sweet rice, which was later delivered to Madhavendra Puri, where Madhavendra Puri initially wanted to have darshan, wanted to taste the sweet rice, so he could make something equal for his deity. So the Lord, in his Archa Vigraha form, is not different from the Lord. And we should have full faith that here is God manifesting himself in the Archa Vigraha form. And there are various forms, and all these forms are transcendental. So we should at no point think that this form is material or mundane. And these instructions were given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Lord said, these are the most important. The fifth one is residing in a dham. But if everybody moves in the dham, who is going to do the preaching in America? That's why I didn't touch it. You stay where you are. Wherever you glorify the Lord, that place becomes Vrindavan. When Prabhupada came back from his tour of the West in 1970 with his Western disciples, he was greeted by the people of Vrindavan in a very royal fashion. They said in their reception, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami took Vrindavan to the whole world. So any place where the Lord is glorified, the place becomes Vrindavan. Once in the early days, devotees had arranged a program in a hall in New York and invited Prabhupada to speak. Prabhupada, when he went to speak, the audience was very small, about 20 people. It was an empty hall. And devotees later on were very apologetic. Sorry, we gave you this trouble, there was only a small turnout. Prabhupada said, nothing was lost. You were chanting a holy name, Krishna was there, Radharani was there, the gopis were there, they were all enjoying the kirtan. So wherever you have this chanting process, the Lord personally comes as a guest, but He is not visible to our material life, He is there spiritually. So these five are considered the limbs of devotional service. So to execute devotional service, we have ample guidance from the scriptures. We should take advantage of this. Today in society, what do we see? We see great tension, we see depression, and so many other evil factors. And what is the cause? Unlimited material desire. So to Krishna consciousness offers a very peaceful solution. And this chanting of the holy name, the most important business. Lord Chaitanya started as Sankirtan movement where? In Navadvip, in Srivasangan. So Lord Chaitanya started as Sankirtan movement in Srivasangan. And when they were doing kirtan, they would do for hours and hours together. Unfortunately, the Mohammedans who were ruling became very envious. The Mohammedans took a report to Chand Kazi and they said, this divine has started with Hare Krishna movement, this will convert all the Muslims to become Hindus. And then the Hindu caste Brahmins, they were also against it because they were losing their income. Previously these Pandits would do big yagyas and charge so much money. The Hare Krishna mantra doesn't cost anything. So they also say that by presenting some concocted bread, this is not Hinduism. So the Qazi was getting pressure. And there was one Mahamdan Mullah. He would go again and again to the Qazi and say, stop this Vinay Sankirtan process. And then the Qazi said, you come to me always complaining, stop, stop, stop. But whenever I see you, I see that you're chanting Hare Krishna. So what is this? On the one hand you're chanting, on the other hand you're saying stop it. So he said, that is a fact. Since I heard the Hare Krishna mantra, I just can't stop chanting. So the Qazi was so, everyone was complaining. He sent his policemen, special committee. They broke the mridangas of the devotees and said, if you continue with this Sankirtan, we will convert all of you into Muslims and confiscate all your property. Those days, conversion to Muslim was an easy affair. If from your bucket you will splash water on a Hindu from a Muslim's bucket, you will become an outcast. And if you work somewhere, you will become an outcast. Like Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, because they were working for the Nawab, they never entered the Jagannath Puri temple. So, Lord Chaitanya, there's a big procession to whose house, whose palace? The Qazi's palace. There was a dialogue in which the Lord said, what type of religion is this in which the cow is not protected? Cow is killed. The cow is one of our 7 mothers. And then the Lord said, please give me this undertaking that in future none of your successors or you will never stop this Sankirtan process. And the Qazi said, see my chest. On the day I sent my men to break the mridangas, in the night I had a dream, and a lion appeared with sharp nails and scratched my chest and said, if you ever do this again, I'll scratch you. And who was the lion? Lord Chaitanya led Kirtan for 8-9 hours, and he was feeling thirsty. Where did he go? He went to the house of a devotee called Kholavaja Sridhar. Kholavaja Sridhar was materially a very poor person who had a meager income derived from selling banana leaf cups and bananas. Lord Chaitanya had such a deep affection for him, and every day he would go to his shop. And Kholavaja Sridhar didn't have a palace to live like all of you have. He lived in one small room which had no roof, and he had in his house only one vessel. That was a broken metal cup. He drank water from that. He ate from that. That cup was so broken that Niranjandas Thakur said, even a thief would not steal. So Lord Chaitanya did kirtan for 8 hours, and he was thirsty. He wanted to drink water. So he went to Kholavaja Sridhar's house, took the glass which was used by Kholavaja Sridhar, and he started drinking water. And as he was drinking water, Kholavaja Sridhar said, my Lord, what are you doing? This is contaminated glass, you're drinking from a contaminated glass. Lord Chaitanya said, I'm getting purified by this. And this Kholavaja Sridhar, he was so dedicated. he would be chanting the holy name day and night. In the night, the neighbors would say, "This man is ghostly haunted. He doesn't sleep himself, doesn't let us sleep." And he had a small income. He would spend 50% in worshipping the Ganga and 50% for his living. And Lord Chaitanya went to his house and drank miscontaminated glass. So the Lord's devotees, the Lord can be pleased not by wealth or that, but by our devotion. Kolavajja Sridhar got so much mercy, but he was totally absorbed in chanting. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none else but the Supreme Lord. He propagated the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. And when he passed through the Jharkhand forest, he even had the animals chant and dance the Hare Krishna mantra. So we should chant, take shelter of the Supreme, and be happy. Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy forever. So please take to this process seriously. Endeavor so that you get attached to the holy name. Hare Krishna. I'm expecting an important conference call. Prabhu, are there any questions? I'm expecting an important call.
Yes, please.
Any questions? No questions? Yeah.
Maharaj, you were giving the story of the Brahmana and Sakshi Gopal, and in that the Brahmana is
Child. You drugged my father and God him to promise my marriage to witnesses. That was a serious charge. If someone comes and says you're a thief, you're not a thief, we don't say, I'll keep quiet. His reputation was at stake. Any more questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you very much for explaining us the three different levels of association with different devotees. Maharaj, for me at least, it's easier to associate with senior devotees. We can feel joyful and we try to take guidance. But would you mind please elaborating a little more if we have to deal with the newcomers or who are not regular in coming to temple, or in your words, as you say, who are less advanced? So could you please help how to deal with them, little more details?
We have to, when you're dealing with new devotees, you have to be extremely tolerant, like a mother tolerates a young child. If you say, I told you once, repeating the same mistake again, you're a dummy. Well, that is a sure way to drive away a newcomer. But if on the other hand, you're friendly, tolerant, Prabhupada told us the same thing 1,000 times. He never said, I told you all 10 times, now I won't say again. So the conditioned soul is under heavy attack from the illusory energy. So we have to be patient in preaching. Therefore Lord Chaitanya said, this verse, Tinadavi Sunichena, is the cause. If you follow the verse, that will be the cause of peaceful progress. And if you don't follow the verse, it results in disunity. Sometimes you see devotees can't work together. there is disunity. Prabhupada said, united we stand, divided we fall. So whereas if we take the principle of tolerance, patience, humbleness, then then spiritual life becomes easier, and then you can tolerate each other. Good question. Any more questions? Let's say one more.
Thank you, Maharaj, for a wonderful class. You were mentioning how Srila Prabhupada transformed the heart of one person in Russia just over a few days. And recently I was reflecting on, I was watching how in different memories of Srila Prabhupada, how the devotees had such love for Srila Prabhupada. Like when Srila Prabhupada would come, they would repaint the temple, they would, for 2-3 days, they would barely sleep. And that really touched my heart, and I was just wondering that how I can develop this kind of love and attachment for the spiritual master.
Prabhupada once told me, if I tell my disciples to jump in the well, they'll jump. Nobody was told it. Of course, he never told us to jump. But So, your question is how to develop the same degree of love. Well, the strength to love comes from good sadhana bhakti. If we say we are regular in our devotional practices and we chant regularly, attentively, that will help you to develop determination. Determination for the right cause is very important in spiritual life. And when you have that determination, then you're eager to please your guru, teacher, or Prabhupada. We can still please Prabhupada. Prabhupada's representatives are just giving you the same message. And it's just a question of following the instructions. Is that your question?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. One more question, then we'll stop because, yeah.
Maharaj, it's not a question, but you have spent so much time with Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Not a question.
You have spent so much time with Srila Prabhupada. Would you be okay to share one pastime of Prabhupada with your interaction, just to help us remember him more?
There are many, but I'll give you just one and then end. We had gone to a Christian school program in Montreal, Canada. This was in June '68. And it was a Christian school in which there were nuns and priests and so on. The Prabhupada gave a lecture, and after the lecture he would always say, "Any questions?" Prabhupada encouraged people to ask questions. And so there was one Indian who would regularly come and see Prabhupada, who got up and started insulting Prabhupada. Why are you preaching this in this Christian country? They don't need this, the Vaishnavas. He was very critical. The devotees were angry, but Prabhupada was cool. This was in June or July of '68. In August '68, Prabhupada was leaving Montreal. At that time, Prabhupada had a green card problem, which many of you probably have. So he had to come to Canada for 3 months. His green card was in progress at that time. So this was in June. In August '68, Prabhupada was leaving Montreal. So he called me and said, "Gopal, go and call that man." I said, "Why do you want to see him? He insulted you so badly." Prabhupada said, very humbly. I must have done something in my last life for which he took revenge. And Prabhupada called him and blessed him before leaving. This was his tolerance and humility. In the Bhagavatam you read that the branches of a tree get pulled down by ripe fruits. When the fruit is ripe, the branches are pulled down. And when the fruit is raw, the branches are shooting up. You know that. So the Bhagavatam says, the sign of an advanced devotee is he's very tolerant and humble. Not that he's bragging, I'm such a great person, everyone should follow me. Our philosophy is to be servant of the servant. And that's the goal that we should try to maintain and achieve. In the Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he was preparing to write the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he went to Lokanath Goswami and many sages, please bless me. I'll give you my blessings, but on one condition, you don't mention my name. There were so many other Goswamis, they left no literature behind, but they didn't want their personal credits to be glorified. Okay, so thank you very much. It was a pleasure coming here.